And the whole point on, well, then it comes down to, the related stuff. And the whole point on AF and AL with the white people in the USA and Canada is about, axes and spears in the USA. But then, on Con Them All and the Cannibal Con Artists, the white people, and the broadsword of Con Them All, the CA, the AC Warrior Caucasian. And Con Them All, and then, they got all the facts. And then it ends up brown people had, metal spears, really nice, a bunch of them. But then the white people came from the clouds with F-16s and actual missile rocket launchers and blew them the shit up with, fire bombs from the clouds, with the ALs. Yeah. With the firebomb ALs from the clouds on Russian rocket ships. Theory with all of it. And then they have Native Americans kill people with bows. Indian, Southeast Asian Indian bows by Native Americans. And then they explain, everybody does it, It's not just us who con them all, even Native Americans have Indian bows. So, it's to that point, on the fact of, con them all. So, but it's true. I watched in World War II, they were racist and then not racist at the same time. And then they had a bunch of African pilots, all together in a group. And they did all right. Most of them actually survived, and they actually did really well in the dogfights up there. So I know that, there have been, I know for a fact that it's not all black people can't swim. There's a lot of black people who can swim. The Arabs have the AB as red, orange, with the Oriental notion on swimming, but they suck at swimming too. It's just they had one really good swimmer, and then Jesus could walk on water. But the point is there's a lot of good African swimmers. There's a lot of coastline of Africa and a lot of African beaches. So, they can't swim, and probably pretty good. With all those African beaches. I looked up the African beaches online, the resorts, and wow, they vary in prices. And some of them are quite nice and are very expensive resorts on the African beaches. But they say you do got to watch out. You got to pay more if you're going to actually survive. No, you're probably all right. But they said, watch out for cannibal areas, because that's most of the point that, Caucasians have murdered a lot of people, and Africans are, there is a lot of cannibalism down there. So it's kind of like I was saying, but this is a switch kind of on it. So, you gotta watch out what resort you go to and what place in there, because I think Sudan is the most corrupt country in the world. But anyway, when it comes to the, also, when you go to Africa, But, they try to make it known with the Secretary of Defense and, not only the Star of David and watch out for that bullshit and terrorists. Probably don't even go there. But when it comes to Africa, it was the same thing, the SOD. Watch out for safaris of death, where they actually on purpose get you eaten by animals. But pretend that, oh no, it was an animal attack, Except for they drove straight into the lion's den and told everybody, go look around. And then, the lions ate everybody, and then they just left. And got everything on camera and, did acting on it. Like, they're really good actors, too, in Africa. With pretending like it was an ambush animal attack. But so you gotta watch out for a safari of death. Yeah. Well, like going up to the centers of deception up there in Arabia. It's really... Okay, so... Alright, one more time I'd like to discuss the difference of the AC in Caucasians versus Africa. There is quite a difference, although it locks in a whole lot of the curse fates with that notion. There's the curse fates where Australia, Africa is murder, Arabia, terror, Oriental Asians, torture, Caucasians, cannibalism. Of course, India and Southeast Asia, the one and then divided on the AD, they put second over a few factors. And then the Native Americans across East, right, Pacific. Okay, but, and there's basically... how they put the AD second, the AE across East, bump the ACs up top. And the notion of, yes, we were painted. There's a big protest that people stand up against. Oh, we weren't painted, we weren't painted. Yes, you were. Okay, well, anyway. Big belittlement factor on its system of control with that. Because they think they're correct. But anyway, the difference of the AC has to do with, the fact of the AC is Caucasian. The Africa, Australia, Africa comes from AA. Okay, and how they get that AC? Because of this. Because of this right here. That is Africa. That is the red reds. And of course, there's regular rainbow red, neon red, and pastel red. So 3 times 3, 9. You can see the AAs are the regular rainbow, and that is of the first 5, and the notion of Australia, Africa. But see, Africa comes with the 3, 6, and that 3 back to the AA. 9I red, Africa. Okay, but that's still based upon the AA, not the AC. And that's all the murder cannibal confusion. So there's actually a list of the AC red yellows and then yellow reds. Okay, right there. Again, the curse fates, and it really does lock in the murder and cannibalism with the confusion on that AC. But that is the difference. So watch how Africans don't claim Caucasians. You'll get stuff like what's going on in Australia and South Africa.